Hello everybody, welcome back to the FM24 Journeyman Save, and we are very excited to get the season underway, so let's dive in to today's episode. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the Save, and before we get into the start of the season, let's have a quick recap of how pre-season went. So as we started pre-season, we put a lot of faith in Director of Football Gabor Benny. After a bit of LinkedIn stalking, is this guy right here. We were actually more interested in his technique rather than what he looked at. A 4-4-2 suits our system. We're going to be using that most of the season. And he works with youngsters well. His coaching was a bit all over the place. Working with youngsters makes sense. He's actually the club's head of youth development in real life. I was more interested in his scouting ability, giving extensive knowledge of Hungary and Austria. I was excited because it means we might pick up some Austrian players. His ability and potential judging, not the best, but we did ask him to recommend some free transfers. He found this merry bunch of men that were happy to move to us on a trial, so a host of players brought in at a host of different positions. The standout player was Michael Omer, a Nigerian advanced forward, 32 years old, but brought with him a lot of pace, acceleration, strength, technique, dribbling and finishing, which all proved to be pretty good. But if we look at the DNA chart, his off the ball is a bigger slice of the pizza pie, which means it's pretty damn good, and I was excited to see what he could do in pre-season. And to be honest, he didn't really disappoint. It was a good number of goals. He scored at least one goal in every single pre-season game he played, and his goals were varied in how they come. Running from the halfway line, getting onto the end of through balls, finishing nicely through the keeper's legs, knocking one past the goalkeeper, close range finishes. His off the ball movement was really good. Yes, we played some weaker teams in pre-season, but he earned himself a full-time contract in the Hungarian second division, something I'm sure he'll be delighted about. But at 31, he wasn't a long-term idea or a long-term prospect, so we're hoping he scores goals while he is at the club. If he can bring his pre-season form, that would be great. And talking of pre-season, it all went reasonably well. We only lost one game, which was to the Puskas Academy, who are in the division above us. But other than that, we actually dominated games, created chances, and kept the ball very well. It was great to see the team gelling in nicely during pre-season, setting us up so what should be a half-decent league campaign. The 4-4-2 system we were using was creating a varied sort of dynamic of chances, something that I wanted to look in a bit more detail. So I went through every single shot that we had in pre-season and picked out some of the different variations of what we were creating. There was set-piece goals, balls being worked from the back to the front and ending in a good opportunity, route one goals, lovely passing moves, winning the ball in our own half, winning the ball high up the pitch. We were creating arrays of different chances, which I think should prove well for the season. It means teams are going to struggle to stop us creating a certain dynamic of chance. Out of all the trialists we brought in, 6 of them got offers off the free agencies, obviously Michael Omer being my favourite. The 2 players, Barnabas Nagy and Dominic Rotas, were signed by the club before we moved here. But the signing of Michael Omer did piss off a number of players, saying that Christopher Condor should be getting first team football. None of them really appreciated it when I told them to shut up, get on with it, because I'm picking the team. Yes, so thank you, Past Dave, for that one. I hope you enjoyed the little recap there. We'll be doing a few more of them as we go through the season to give you a bit of an update of how things have been going. But overall, I'm very happy with where we stand at the moment. The squad is looking okay, I would say. It's not looking the best in shape it could be in. I think we're still a little bit top heavy with our players. A few players still unhappy about potential players coming, going, things like that. One thing to point out, I think is pretty crucial. I didn't really pay attention to the rules that we've got in Hungary, and we have to have a minimum of 1 under-20 player in the playing 11, and I assume that is at all time, and we don't have enough of them. We have 1 under-20 player, which was the AI signing of Barnabas Nagy. So I think he's going to be getting 90 minutes of football, which is not what I wanted to happen, because all of our other under-20 players are these greyed out players. And if we go and have a look at our under-19s, there's not much options. We've got a winger in a position that we're not really playing because it's too out and out. He can play AML or AMR. He doesn't actually look too bad. Work rate and off the ball is half decent. But then we've got Colonel Horvath, who doesn't look great. Really determined. He has good determination. Again, a bit of pace and acceleration in there. Finishing's not too bad. But I was like, I'd rather give the guy that the AI have bought in a go. to be honest. So that is what we're going to be going with today. But yeah, it's been going reasonably well. I don't think there's too much else to touch on. We've got a few other transfers coming in because of the whole under-20s rule. We are making offers for a few younger players. Damien Dakic, we've got a bid on him. I think we're the only team bidding on him. Yes, it's just us. He has played a few games this season, as you can tell from his pizza chart. But yeah, he's got a lot of yellow across the board, so I'm quite excited about this. Good strength, jumping reach, fitness, work rate, balance, positioning, decisions, technique. Yeah, it's looking reasonably good. And he's got a good DNA as well. Determination, decisions, work rate, positioning, really good for a centre-back. So we're going to hopefully see how he gets on when he joins the club. And we've also got offers in for Milian Kovacic, but I've got a feeling there's another club bidding on him as well, if I remember rightly. Yeah, there's two other clubs. So again, another sort of defender, left back, this guy, but he's got good heading, good tackling, great pace, good fitness, and a good first touch. So again, would boost our options as an 18-year-old. Would be looking pretty good. And then we've gone for a couple of loans. So Martin Guelberez, who is a centre-back. We don't know too much about him, but he's got good heading, marking, tackling, and jumping. So that ticked all the boxes for me as a centre-back option. And Milan Vas, another option up front as an 18-year-old. Great finishing, long shots and acceleration. So I think from how much I've played the game this year, I think acceleration and off the ball are actually key stats that you need for your strikers. By the way, if you're playing an advanced forward, I don't think finishing actually really matters. So we have got a few other bids out there, but I'm excited to get into this one. We're taking on BVSC, whose key player is Vinicius. So we'll have to look at him. He looks very good. Heading, marking, tackling, work rate, jumping. I'm assuming he's a centre-back. Yes, he is. 7 caps for Hungary as Vinicius. Doesn't sound very Hungarian, but that is the way of the world at the moment. And that is fine. But they are predicted to be finishing below us in the table as the latest table predictions come in. We're actually 13th now, which is pretty good. BVSC and Kazin Barikika are both below us at 250 to 1. But the odds of the table have all shortened. People were 300 to 1 before. So we are getting there. But I think we're going to dive into the game. And we are using a 4-4-2, which will be interesting against a 4-2-3-1. But we'll see how it goes. This is our 4-4-2 that we're using. We have one defensive wing-back, 2 centre-backs, 1 full-back on support, 2 wingers on attack to push up to try and make a 4-2-3-1 because the false 9 drops in, the advanced forward pushes the defence back, and we've got a box-to-box and a ball-winning midfielder in there. But it's quite flexible in the game. We're going to be starting Samozla in goal. He was one of the trialists that got a full-time contract. He basically played most of pre-season for us and did a very good job in net as well. Hala is the goalkeeper that was here previously. I've just noticed, have I signed the wrong goalkeeper? Because this says he didn't... Oh, because he was on trial, so he didn't rest. No, hang on. Well, we'll leave that as automatic for now. Yes, he played lots of preseason games for us. Then we actually signed him, so it resets his non-competitive stats. But he's a bit injury-prone, but he does like big games, has a good personality, pace, and is very good consistent as well, which I think you need from a goalkeeper, which is good. So Samozla will get our first run out in goal, which I'm quite excited about. Right, so now we know... I mean, we do have Varga, who's not fully fit as a 19-year-old, but he does have really good fitness and really good determination, dribbling and finishing up there as well. But yeah, I think it's going to be Nagy playing as the false 9 who's going to start there. And then it will be Michael Omer up front, who, as I mentioned in the little pre-recorded bit, was the key player of pre-season. He was getting on the end of lots of good balls as well, which was good. Right, we've got... There's a number of players we could be picking at like centre-back. So many of our players are poor in like determination and things like that. So I think we're going to go with a team that is good mentally and has and not worry too much about the other attributes. I'll pick it and then we'll be back. Okay, so this is how we're lining up then. Sosmala is in goal. It'll be Sasbo at right back. If we just have a quick look at him, the other good thing I like about this skin is that you can go to ability here and it gives you a nice little overview. If I go back into that, gives you a nice little overview of how he has looking. So look, plenty of quickness as it's summarised here of a joint acceleration and pace. Good bit of final third and movement. So we're looking for an attacking option there. He's on a wing back on defend, but that doesn't mean he won't push up. It will mean he'll just be a bit more sensible on how often he does push up. We've got Rosas and Bent starting in the middle. So Rosas is a 20-year-old centre-back. I think centre-back is a key place we need to improve on, which is why we're going for those youngsters that we are. But 6'2", we've got a lot of height in the team. Silazard Bents is our captain, the club captain, and he is going to be starting in there as well. Not the best. Probably one of our weakest players in the squad, to be honest, which is a bit of a worry as our captain. Attilio Suto has joined after his trial spell. He did really well, really good quickness and fitness. Tackling's pretty good, can be an option for us, good at set pieces, good at crossing. So he is in the team and we've got him as cross more often and run wide with the ball, trying to get him to put the balls in as much as possible. Into the midfield then, on the right hand side, we're starting with Andras Winkler, who comes into this one. Lots of pace, again, half decent crossing, good sort of half final third and movement, so not looking too bad. Loves to run with the ball down the wing as well, which suits what we're trying to do. On the left hand side, we're starting with Bents Gurayuan, who is a 32-year-old that we bought in, but hasn't lost his pace, good bit of fitness, loads of good sort of attacking, ball control, technical attributes, I'd say. Ball control, crossing and passing, all looking pretty good at this level, and some good leadership in there as well, which is good. In the middle, we're starting with Mensah. Isaac Ajay Mensah, 6'2", 20 years old. A good bit of strength, tackling and endurance coming in, not too bad. And then Balanit Ola is in here as well, so he comes in and you can see why we're picking him. Good bit of strength, endurance, an all-round average Joe. Not very good at crossing, ball control, set pieces, and I don't need any of those as our box-to-box. I think we need strength, endurance, and the ability to maybe put the ball in the back of the net. And then up front, Barnabas Nagy starts through more of default than actual effort, but good quickness, decent agility, passing's not the great, final third's okay, finishing's okay, movement's not amazing. We may swap these two around, but I want to start Michael Omo up through the middle because of how good he was there at pre-season with his movement. But again, he's only got 2.5 movement, 3.5 quickness. So comparing the two, if we look at Barnabas Nagy, it says he can't play the false 9 role, but he's got the sort of same quickness, a little bit less movement than Michael Omer. So we may move them around. The guy that ultimately misses out is Daniel Sirkonionos, who's 24 years old. I think we looked at him as the best player in the squad. He actually has done very well playing as the false 9 because he's got some decent ability behind him. I actually prefer looking at it in this page, actually. If we come over here and go ability, I think this sums it up a little bit better. So yeah, he's got the quickness, he's got the passing ability, he's got the movement. So yeah, I think there is a player in there, but unfortunately he misses out because we have to have an under 20 in the playing 11, which also means when we make a sub, if he comes off, Dominic Varga is going to be the person that comes on to be the next under 20. But again, good quickness, good agility, good finishing on him, so could play up front or potentially on the right hand side of midfield. I do like the fact he can play striker, attacking midfield right, or left back. It's very odd. It's very, very odd. But yeah, there we go. So we are playing Andreas Winkler on the right. We talked about him. He's left-footed, so we're asking him to get up the wing, but he'll naturally cut in because of his stronger preference for his left foot. And Bents Guyana is left-footed, so he'll be giving us a lot more width on this side. And if you hadn't noticed in the tactics panel, it does show what favoured foot they have by which side the little dot is on. So yeah, that's quite cool. But let's get into the game. That's enough waffling from me. 6 players need numbers. So Sosmala can have number 21. Suto at left back can have number 3. Balet Unsa in the middle can have number 19. Gaspelimade, I think you guys you might get a run out. Buntsguran can have number 11 on the wing, and Michael Omer can have number 10 up front. And there we go. Right, pleased to have been picked. Feels a team instruction, sit narrow, sets traits with his cut inside. Feels a team instruction with more direct passing is good. feels confident in the team's tactical shape, feels confident and comfortable with the team's mentality, and pleased to be playing in his preferred role. So Michael Omer is absolutely loving life in this setup, which is good to see. But our first game of the Mercantile Bank Liga is going to be up and running. Now, we're not going to ask the assistant to any of them. We're going to point the finger and we're going to say, I want to win every match, and today is no different. And that is the first competitive team talk we get. There is our BVSC opponents playing in a 4-2-3-1. We'll go and pressure the back four, I think, to start with. But yeah, there's us in a 4-4-2, and Michael Omer looking very happy to be getting his first start of the season. And there is the league. 16 teams, 2 get relegated, 2 go up, and it should be very interesting. And remember, if we win the league, we unlock more leagues as we go as well. Oh yes, I was in this to record the last video. It's actually quite a good view to watch goals in, but I prefer watching this view to see what we're doing. And I need to set up a ball because for some reason it's gone grey, which is very, very irritating for the first game of the series, first competitive game of the series. That's very irritating. Hopefully you can keep up with play as a few takers is there. Back to Hiddle. Hiddle puts it through. Good tackle from Guerin, and I think I can take this down to Key because I know that the system was sort of doing what I wanted it to, and I went massively into data, as you saw in the little pre-game thing of the pre-season sort of summary. Yeah, I went through and looked at pretty much every single chance we created in pre-season to see where they were coming from and how they were doing, and it was a good little mix. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed using the data in that sense. Now, is this going to remember what we do? No, it's not. So we want to tackle you hard, tackle everyone hard here in the back line. Then we want to trigger press on both the centre backs, and we want to show everyone onto their weaker foot just to not let them have an easy passing rein out. And then we will tackle the goalkeeper hard, trigger the press when he has it, show him onto his weaker foot. We're not going to tightly mark in there, and then we'll keep an eye on what they're doing. If they have a playmaker who isn't roaming, we'll mark him tightly and see what we can do. But at the moment it's 0-0. Not too much happening. They've had a few shots more than us, a few better XG. We're not hitting the target as of yet, but I'm not expecting us to pull up trees straight away in this first season. We'll see how it goes. Into Winkler. Winkler coming onto that left foot that he prefers. Back to Mensah, looking for Guarin, but it's headed away, and Bure will pick it up for BVSC. Into Durso. Durso goes up to Futix. Back to Hiddy. Into Kovac. Here's Poor. Hopefully he is Poor. Varga has the ball. Up it goes into Poor again. Back to the goalkeeper. And Omo was thinking about going for a press. A long boot forward. Can we win the header? We do. Sutu wins it. But it goes to Sanchez. Here's Futix again. Oh, and they've got a bit of an overlap on this side with Sasulius. Comes down the right. Cross in. Barai smashes the crossbar. And we get lucky with that one. So let's give them a shout and say that we demand more from this. As Hiddy over the ball, and that's not troubling Smosla in goal. But the game seems to have come alive a little bit, sort of in their favour. But we will see how we're getting on. So we're just going to have a look at the tactics here. Can we see what their roles are? No, we can't see what their roles are in here. That's irritating. Which means I'll have to wait for the next screen and pause it. Winkler just sort of stood on the ball and forgot he had it. Into Hiddy. Into Durso. Durso comes forward, the under pressure from Ola, and I thought we were going to nick that ball. Poor. Back to Varga. Varga out to Vinicius, who's their key player. Durso, in it goes to Sedensky, out to Kalisilis with an extra man. Bure shoots in off the post, and BVSC find themselves 1-0 up, and that is a good finish, to be fair, from obviously a player I've never heard of. I was going to say that as if it was a surprise, but yeah, I've not heard of any of these players. Serenci goes out to Sasulis, and Barai was there. First time hit in off the post. It's a very, very good finish, to be fair. And that puts the home team 1-0 up. And we've got a lot of work to do. So if we go to teams, how do I see what they are playing in terms of... can I not do that in this? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? That would be interesting. Team analysis. Passers, BVSC. Is there any one player that seems to be doing a bit more than anyone else? Key passes, they've had 7. So this one I pass again. 26, 2-2-2, 2-2. So they're coming down their right-hand side. Okay, so we are playing to encourage crosses at the moment, but maybe that isn't what we need to do. Yeah, they're coming down this side with the key passes. Nothing down the left. So they are playing down their right, our left. So what could we do to help that out? Let's change you to a support for now. And then I think potentially we give someone a bit more license to push up. I think we go just with that for now. It's their number 2, which is you, isn't it? So let's press you every time you get the ball. And Durso seems to be getting more of the ball, but he's not creating key passes. I think we're just going to have to really press their wingers out there as well with hard tackling, just to try and stop them. The other thing we could do is obviously out of possession. Yeah, we're forcing them outside, so we could take that off for now. And we'll just go like that and see if that makes any difference at all. But at the moment, it's half time and we're 1-0 down, which I'm not very happy about. I want a much better display. Yeah, we need to change something. Something's not working. I mean, Michael Omo's having a 6.3. I gave him all that big boost up after pre-season. So we're trying to keep the ball, get the ball forward, playing it out so that we don't just boot it away. I don't think there's too much I can really look to change here. The only thing is, if that number 2 is pushing so high up on our left, we could potentially counter down that side. Let's try it for a little bit. Let's go focus play down our left, because we are playing more direct. I know we've just dropped him off coming through. The other thing you could do is put you back to an attack, put you on a roll that covers a bit more on that side. So we could go ball winning midfielder on defend, give us an option there, and then a box-to-box for Mensah. The other thing with Durko Milanic is philosophy is that he really likes versatile players, which I think is something we'll have to keep in mind as we get forward. But you can see they are dominating the game much more than I would have liked. 13 shots to our 6. They're not having great shots. I mean, they're not giving them a huge XG, but the changes we've made have done absolutely nothing to help our situation out. So we'll take that off. Let's not play out of defence then. In the 4-2-3-1, how can we overcome the 4-2-3-1? I mean, they're going to be throwing people forward, right? That looks... Look, he's definitely on attack. He's definitely on attack. So we need to focus here. How do we get you doing that? Yeah, how do we get you doing that? We could go to the 4-2-3-1. I'm sort of like, do we get... yeah, we need to do something to exploit the play on their right back pushing up so high. I'm just wondering if we get someone back here to take more risks, but I don't know if that's going to help. You're going to push far up. Yeah, I mean, we could try just doing wing back on defend this side and then full back on support that side. Just see if that gives us a little bit more in defence. I mean, nobody's playing brilliantly other than Winkler on the right, which is fine. Yeah, it's tougher. It's definitely a skin set up to make you use more of the data, which I really, really like. So I think the hour mark has just gone. Let's get some fresh legs on. Let's see. So who's tired in here? I mean, no one's knackered, which is also good. But we do have Godzav Tellman on the bench. He's not too bad. We'll bring him on for Mensah in the new box-to-box role. 6.2. Dominic Rosas at the back, who's our best centre-back, but he's having a shocker. So Sazbo can come on for him. You guys are all doing okay. With this thing, we're not playing a very high-intense tactic. So we are going to have some spare sort of stamina left over. Let's take Omo off. He's not had a good debut. We're going to bring on Soskronios on, and then we'll give Nagy a bit of a run up front in the advanced forward role to see what he can do. But yeah, we're just not really creating anything at the moment, which is a problem as Durso comes forward again into Poor, into Varga, over the top to Burai. Burai's in, and it's... Oh, God, they've hit the work again. A great little move from them there. Maybe we do have to just go a little bit more... Let's go attacking. Let's go take off low crosses. I know we'll whip them in, see if we can get them in behind the defence. And... Yeah, as I said, we're going to do or die by this sort of system. We're going to see how it goes. Let's see if we can just close the space down a little bit. We do need to do something different. Right, 10 minutes to go. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted that one. 10 minutes to go. Gurin is on a 6.2. That is absolutely woeful. So we'll bring Janos on for him. And then Nagy will come off and has to be replaced by Dominic Varga. We know that one. So that can sit as it is in the 4-4-2 that switches to a 4-2-3-1. But yeah, it's not being brilliant, is it? We've given up a lot of shots, 19 shots. They've only had 5 on target, and their XG is like 2. But yeah, they have sort of dominated us in the game. So we'll have a quick look at the data afterwards. That's a good header from Bentz. Varga is in. Varga goes past his man. Varga! Oh, he was all on his own. Yeah, I was hoping we'd sort of get a few more people forward. But Suto with a corner. What can he do with it? Swings it in towards Sasbo, but it's headed away. And with 4 minutes of time added on, I think this is going to be a bit of a disappointing start to the season. It is, isn't it? It is. Winkler was our man of the match with a 7.2, but man of the match goes to their right back, who I think we did sort of stop playing a little bit. Our goalkeeper absolutely loved playing to our left back. Interesting. Yeah, we didn't create enough, which was disappointing because we created a hell of a lot. I'm proud of your efforts. No, I don't know what I just saw. We definitely... They're rubbish, according to the season preview. I'm not happy with what I just saw. Yeah, okay. Well, it's not a winning start, is it? Not a winning start. So we've had loan offers accepted, which is good. Sasbo's picked out a bruised ankle. He only came on for about half an hour of the game. And I'm not going to go and do the press conference. Yeah, let's go and have a quick look then. What can we read? What can we get from the data and see in here? We'll do, yeah, so they absolutely dominated us in this sort of... This period here. I can't remember what changes we made in that period. If you remember, let me know down below. But, yeah, we'll look at the teams. So, passes then. Combinations. They were getting the ball wide. I'm wondering if we're just showing too much of the ball wide. Like, yeah, we didn't... I wanted him to drop a little bit deeper. It sort of stayed as a 4... As a sort of 4... I mean, it sort of became a 4-2-4, didn't it? Rather than a 4-2-3-1. Which is a little bit disappointing. If we just turn that off. So, shots. Let's have a look. What did we... What did we do in terms of getting shots off? So 2 from outside the area, 2 close range that went off target. 5 shots were saved. So like, what did we... How do we get to these sort of situations? They cleared it, we won a header, put him under a bit of pressure and it came in. Okay, so not too much to read into that one. What about this one in the box? A shot saved was a throw in. We are pretty good at set pieces. A corner. Are we going to be absolute merchants? Okay, that was just I think a deflection that must have come to him there. Again, yeah, it's not a lot. These are shots saved. What about our shots on target? Did we have any sort of good build up? That was a corner. Show linked events. That was that throw in. I've already looked at these. I feel like I've already looked at these. Dominic Varga, yeah, that was the clearance. Yeah, I've looked at these already, haven't I? So, and then what about our blocked shots? I mean, they're both from range, so I can't imagine there's going to be too much. Yeah, we were building it up. Maybe working the ball into the box to stop that sort of thing could be helpful. But yeah, what about theirs? So if they went their goal, yeah, they got a lot of passes together, didn't they? And worked it well. But look how high their right back was. Yeah, that's very irritating, that. Very, very irritating. So, again, lots of shots on our goal. Throw in, just a cut back. I'm just intrigued to see what we can do. Just like a throw in or a corner direct. There's 2 in here. That'll be another set piece because it's Vinicius as centre back. Again, we had a poor clearance, passed it, recycled it around into the box. So I think it was the potential of opening ourselves up to crosses hasn't helped. Yeah, I mean, they hit the woodwork twice. Did they have good build-up from this? Yeah, again, a little bit of good build-up. I mean, I probably wasn't pressing the right people that I had to. I mean, look at that. That's a wonderful bit of build-up. So right back, centre back, right wing. Maybe right wing out here, maybe centre mid then. Centre mid, striker, drops it back, works it round, long ball forward, and then a shot onto the woodwork. So, yeah. Interesting. I mean, clear-cut chances, they only had 1 clear-cut chance, apparently. Have I still got something on for shots? Yeah, I have. They've got 1 clear-cut chance was there, which was probably their goal. 5 half chances. Did we create anything? 3 half chances, no clear-cut. So, again, just a clearance that went wrong. A long ball forward. And then, see, that's the sort of football I'm planning us to play. Because we haven't got the best of people. And then a set piece gave us half a chance. Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? It's definitely not like how pre-season went. Average possession with the ball. Not all. I'll look at starting 11. Yeah, it's more of a 4-2-4. So Nagy wasn't dropping as much. Maybe a deep line forward on support would do that more. Without the ball, we're in our 4-4-2, which is fine. And then overall, yeah. What were they doing? I mean, they had an inverted wing back and a wing back on attack. Yeah, okay. Now that I've seen this is what I need to look at in this skin. His average position was oh no, it's a clear-cut chance. Yeah, they were very high up the pitch, so we could have passed into space. They were leaving a lot of space on the flank, so we should have looked to exploit the flanks a lot more. Okay, good to know. This is why I go back and look at this. So we can take it into the next game. Right, we'll be back later on in the season. Probably not too far because this is a new save and it's different to the Youth Academy. But yeah, 1-0 loss against BVSC to start the season. A little bit of data and tactical reviews as well. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Hopefully the reinforcements we bring in really help as well because we are very short on quality, which is to be expected. We have only just got promoted, so we'll see how it goes. But thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.